Alright everybody, here we are, and let's just simply start doing the same thing again. We were working on Excalidraw clone, and we had a bug. We had to just figure out the bug and fix that now. And probably this particular live stream is gonna be half an hour, or if needed, 1 hour. That is it. Hopefully everything's alright. Yeah. So what the hell? What's wrong with this? Yeah, now it's fine. So going ahead from here on. So this was the problem. The diagrams, the way they are being sort of drawn, that's not the right way. So let's just simply uncomment this and check out the bounds right now. To check the bounds, okay, let's just simply get rid of this. This is how I'm just simply gonna be going ahead. And as for the bounds, that's gonna be huge canvas, and probably somewhere here I'm gonna be CLG selected is gonna be equals to selected tool and CLG bounds is gonna be equals to bounds, just like that. Let's do it. Reload the page. Let's go back to console and draw the image. Click on this. Here we come on, draw a line. Actually, let's reload the page again. The main thing is that we have to draw a line here. Okay, this looks fine. Yeah, this does not look fine. Why? Let's try this thing out. So if we draw it like this, so the starting point was 744. Select is gonna be equals to select. Crazy. Just a minute. Selected tool, selected shape. Now this is fine. Let's reload the page and let's do it this way. So it is just the opposite. Okay, let's see what's the region. So x is 321, 554 here. Wow. So minimum x and minimum y 316 and 250, and these are the bounds. So the way bounds are being calculated for the line, that's wrong. How are the bounds being calculated? So selected shapes, I'm just simply sending the selected shape, and ultimately I'm passing a point here. And when it comes to a line, so like for these, update bounds for shape with the points. So I'm just simply gonna be getting the okay, let's continue to this one. I got the shape, and from the shape I got the points, and got it. The problem is that not got it. I'm converting it here. So I'm getting the points, and then from the points I'm getting the absolute point, and in the absolute point I'm just simply adding it to that. That's also fine. Once that is done, then we are updating the bounds. So updating the bounds means what? It's not like I have to get the min x max infinity, min y max. This we have to do it. We have to get it in that way. If I'm passing 3 points here, right? So at the end of the day I'm just simply running a loop, and 3 points are actually being passed. What is the problem? Update bounds. Is this right for a line? Is this right for a line? Yes, that function is correct for computing bounding box, including for a line. So if we start is 300 and this, so min x is gonna be 100, 300, then this, which is correctly describes. But if the value is this, what will I get with this value? So bounding box, the result depends on the current value. So 321 and all this fine. Just a minute. I'm actually getting what? Min x 360 and 250. That's just the opposite. So if I draw it like this, it goes in the negative direction. Once it actually goes in the negative direction, don't really have a lot of time to fix the things. I'm just simply gonna be taking the help of AI here. I'm just done figuring it out. Why am I getting this kind of result? Just the opposite we are getting. Analyzing the image. You are getting the result because you are using the bounding box corners as the line handles. This assumes min x min y, but the only true for a line that goes there is this top left and bottom right. We don't really need to do it, right? Yeah, I mean for a line we don't I don't know what he said here, but at the end what I think that for a line, why do you need to do it? I mean it's pretty simple. If you have a selected shape here, then you have to just use the coordinates of the selected shape and the job will be done. So you don't even need to look for bounding. Ultimately you don't need to look for bounds here in this particular case. So if that is a line, what I think over here, that bro, if that's actually a line, so let's just stop getting the bounding box. Anyway, I'm gonna be getting it here, but for any shape, and yeah, that's right, I'm gonna be getting it for any shape. But at the end of the day, if I go to render shape, if that is actually a draw selection bounds, if I just simply I have to draw, so CTX scale I don't have to pass bounds here, rather I have to pass selected shape, whatever selected shape I have. What is the benefit of sending that? The benefits are great. Let me show what they are. So what I am gonna do actually here, that I'm not gonna be getting this, rather I'm gonna be getting selected shape here, and that's gonna be shape of course, but that's not just gonna be the shape, that can be either a line shape or that can be arrow shape, just like this. So this is how I'm just simply gonna have the things, because here we do not need to calculate it, that's already calculated. What I mean here that not this one, sorry, my bad. We had to change something else and we changed something else. We had to change this one, draw line selection. Over here I had to send selected shape. Selected shape. We were doing unnecessary calculation. We don't really need to change anything here. So arrow shape, or that can be line shape. This is it. Bounds, and we don't really need any bounds. Rather, we can just simply get rid of it. And using the points, we have to get the const. Points are gonna be selected shape dot points, and even we are gonna be getting x and y. So let's do one thing, just like this. I'm gonna be getting the value of x, I'm gonna be getting the value of y. Here we have it, and once we have this, so we have to get the absolute points. Getting absolute points, that is right. So once we have the points, we have to get the absolute points. points dot map actually, and I'm gonna be getting point here. Once I got the point, yeah, once I got the point, I'm gonna return. And what am I gonna return? I'm gonna return, think about it, it's driving me crazy. So once I got a specific point, right? Okay, so first one is gonna be start point, second one is gonna be the end point. And if I actually return it, then in that case I'm gonna be getting the absolute points. So once I have this, I have to just simply return an array and get absolute point of point what does this return anyway? It returns x and y. That's gonna be problematic. And that is still fine. So let me do one thing. How can I make it better? Let me do one thing. X, y, and point. This is what it's gonna do. So ultimately it's gonna return an array. That array will contain an object. That object will have x and y values. As simple as that. So const start end. Now it is a bit trickier here. Why it's trickier? First of all, we are getting the points here, and we are just simply returning this. So let me make it even simpler. So in that case, I'm getting the absolute point, that is just simply gonna be return an object that will be x and y. So at the end of the day, I'm just simply returning x and y from here, and once x and y is actually returned, so whatever is returned, that just simply becomes the part of an array, and as that becomes the part of an array, so that's simple. I'll have an array with x and y points, and they're gonna be starting and ending points as well. I'll ask AI to just simplify it or to make it easier to understand, but I'll get the midpoint as well. So coming back to this one, we can say start.x and start.y. The only problem is that it doesn't know the type of that. The start has x and y are undefined. So in that case, if I don't have start, or if I don't have end, in that case I'm just simply gonna return and start x. Does not exist on type. Of an array. I'm actually gonna return this only. Sorry. Just will return an object. That object will be the part of the array. So that this is how it's gonna be fine. And I hope this should not be problematic. Yeah. This much is done. And apart from this particular thing, we are gonna be getting the middle point. So this is gonna be start.x and start plus start x plus start y end x divided by 2. That's gonna be the middle point. And end x, sorry, start dot y and end dot y divided by 2. That makes sense. And as for this one, end dot x and end dot y, as simple as that. So this is what I've done. It starts from here. We have to just simply what is this? This is the line, right? So when it comes to the line, we need to have a line height as well. So line width 1 by scale that side. And as for this one, it will be starting from start.x and start.y. It will be going to till end.x and end.y. Stroke, fine. Coming back to this one, we have handles dot for each I'm gonna be getting x and y, and at the end of the day handle radius, that's actually not here, so handle radius is gonna be how much, const handle radius, that's gonna be 5 by scale. I think that's what was mentioned here earlier, but we'll see. Let's check the result. Reload, and I knew it. Here we are. So this is how it just simply gets selected. The same main reason is that the line is already drawn, right? You have to just draw another line on top of that line and the job will be done. So why do you need to calculate the bounds? Because bounds are merely for a rectangle, a box, as simple as that. And apart from this particular thing, done. Selected shape, that can actually be null as well. So the selected shape that I'm getting, that can be null in that case. If not selected shape, in that case I have to just simply return from here, and that is it. Hopefully that's not problematic. What the hell? Shape is not assignable to type arrow shape. Okay, fine. First of all, this the name should not be this, rather it should be line shapes, just like this, and there are gonna be only two, and line shapes are gonna be arrow and line, just like this. And over here I have line shapes, or wow, that should be line shapes. And coming back to this one, it can be arrow shape, it can be let's do, yeah, that's right, it is mainly for that, and the value can be this. But this selected, so ultimately it is saying that points is declared. Kya baat hai? Circle is not assignable to type arrow shape. Yeah, that's right. Then includes, if selected type includes this particular type, what is the type? Arrow and all. It doesn't seem to be working this way, so that's fine. Let me do one thing. Selected shape dot type, if that's equals to arrow, or that's equals to, I mean, then it works crazy way. If I just go with this particular format, line shapes includes this particular shape. So what is the problem? There's no problem, but it is still throwing the error. So let me do one thing, that by selected shape that I have dot type, that should be equals to either arrow, or it should be selected type dot type, that should be equals to line. In that case I'll have this, otherwise I'll have that. It's just pretty simple. That simply means I can even get rid of this from here. Remaining things are fine. So right now if I show you drawing, so the rectangle, this we are able to zoom in, zoom out, everything's working. Let's keep it aside. This we are able to zoom in, zoom out, that's also works great, so let's keep it aside. Circle, we are able to zoom in, zoom out, so let's keep it aside as well. We have this, we are able to zoom in, zoom out, let's keep it aside as well. We have the line, we are able to zoom in and zoom out. So yeah, that's what I actually wanted at the end of the day. Let's keep it here. The same thing happens here as well. Let's keep it here, and we are able to do the same thing here as well. Text, there is a problem with the text, so we have to fix this. What the hell? If I click 100 by 100, the text appears to be like this. So the font size of the text, that is fine. The only problem is that when we select the text, text is not selectable properly, and when we click the image, so if I click the image, even we are able to work with the image as well. Tomorrow the main focus is gonna be on resizing it, so that we are able to actually resize any image. So that's not gonna be the difficult part. The last thing that we have to fix today, that is this text related stuff. So let's just simply work on this. This is gonna be the last thing for today. And even when we start drawing it, let me work on this first of all. Whenever we start drawing something, then it switches back to select. That should not happen. So if that is equals to free draw, so what I have to do, whenever the pointer up happens, pointer up, use canvas drawing, pointer up, handle pointer down, pointer move, pointer up. Yeah, here it is. So whenever pointer up happens, and if selected tool is not equals to pen, and one more thing, if selected tool is if not equals to free draw as well. If it is so, then only if it is not so, then only it should be select, otherwise it should always be pen. So switching the tool to default, reload the pinch, and let's see, we clicked on this. Now we started drawing, and we are able to draw it again and again and again and again here and there. And once I click on select, then only now I am not able to draw. Same thing with here, I clicked on pen, now I am able to move here and there, but only when I click on select it just goes back. So these two are the ones where you can simply draw again and again. Then you have to select that again separately. Alrighty, it works quite amazing. That's great. That's what I wanted. So the first bug we have fixed. What is the next? The next thing is that the text related issue. So whenever I write something, so I am not able to get the bounding box of the text. So ultimately width is not right over here. So what are we gonna be doing? It's not like what are we gonna be doing, it's about what we have done. So when we are getting the bounding box of the text, so it's all about selected element. So let me do one thing. Calm down and get started. So whenever what happens, whenever pointer down happens, at that time here, if that is equals to select, so we are getting the bounding box and all. And once you are getting that, I'd like to log the value one more time. So the selected shape is gonna be, that's gonna be selected shape CLG. Bounds are gonna be bounds just for this, coming back to this one. Let's select this, write something here, and now if I click on this, nothing happens. If I click here, this happens. Let's check this thing out, and let's check this thing out. So X was 285, Y was 275. So 280 and 270. What the hell? That's wrong. So X is 280 instead of 285, and Y is 267. Okay, it got decreased by 5. That is okay. That was the tolerance that we had, and this is completely fine. The only thing is this, that the total width was 24. So 280 plus 24, that becomes width we have to calculate. So this is the width, this is the height, and 280, 214, plus we have to add 5. Come on, think about it. Initial was 285, plus we added 24. Now the question is this width correct, the width that we have here? And the answer is no. The width that we have here, that is not correct. Apart from this particular thing, width is being added to the X, and that is okay, completely fine. But the width that we have, height 24, that is fine here, but the width can never be 24, and the width is always 24. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, then this. Yeah, now here we are. If I click on this, if you actually have a look, width is 24 by default. That simply means this is a bug. If this is a bug, how can I fix this? So when where are we saving it? Where are we saving the text? Text is being saved when we click Okay, that simply means text is being saved here. So we get the starting point and all. After that, when is the text saved? Text is saved when we click outside. So clicking outside means handle pointer down should happen, right, to save the text. That is right. So this should be getting the job done, but it is just simply setting the starting point and this. So if I am writing something here and I am clicking outside, so do I have any state? Moves the page up, render, context left, sets the value start point, no. Where is save text being called? So control F, save text, save, that's not even being called here. So what am I missing? Definitely missing something. I think this is done inside inside what? Inside text editing. We have used text editing. Save text shape, we are just simply exporting it from here. The question is, where is this save text shape being used? We have three places. This is the first one when we click escape. This is the second one when we handle down. So key handle down is on the canvas itself. So whenever we click on the canvas, so when we click on the canvas, that is that pointer down? That is pointer down, but that is a click as well. So that makes sense. I'm handling it like this. We can handle the same thing using pointer down as well, can't we? So this save text that we have, we could have saved the text as well. Could we have done that? Handle key down, this is it. This is handle key down here. Not this one. Save text. This is it. Handle parent pointer down. So whenever we are clicking on the parent in the sense doesn't matter where you are clicking, on the div at the time this particular section runs. Do we really need to have it? I mean, text editing state event.target shouldn't be this. Think about it. You are on a text area. Now when you click outside the text area, only then you cannot click on the canvas, because when you click on the canvas you cannot get the text area. That is why we have it. And handles click outside the text area and hides if click is outside the text area, saves text shape. As simple as that. This is the main use of this. So this is just simply getting the job done. The thing is that if I actually come back here, save text and width and height, how is the width being calculated? Wow, such a good thing, bro. So dimension is returning me both height and width, and I was just simply yeah, I'm returning both, and I was using only one. At the end of the day, I will have to just structure my whole code better. I mean, there are many things missing. I mean, they're here and they are not being managed well. So we'll have to keep in mind this particular thing. I think right now it should work well. So coming back to this, yeah, as expected. The only thing is that the left right, that is not that much. The same thing is here, right? Left. It's just the same way, so I'm happy with that. Yeah, now it's all about making it functional. That will happen tomorrow. Just a minute. What am I missing? One console log I had inside use drawing canvas. This, and that log was inside handle down pointer, inside select this one. Alrighty, this seems to be alright. Alrighty, this is not over yet, but ultimately most of the things are ready. I never expected to reach this far, honestly. When I started, my heart was saying dhak dhak dhak. How are you gonna be actually building this? But this seems to be possible to build now. So ultimately, if you click on this, one more feature we have to. Alright everybody, welcome back. Honestly, I have no idea exactly how long have I been offline for, because I was working on the project and then my mobile got dead. It just simply died in the sense that it got switched off because of the low battery and all, and hence I don't know when it actually stopped. So let's be back, and hopefully everything's up and running right now. Such an insane thing. Start sending us your stream. I think this should be fine, shouldn't it? Oh yeah, this is right. Okay, then let's continue from here on. Sorry for earlier. And we got these many things done. And apart from this particular thing, the next thing that we have to implement, that is selecting a shape. We should be able to just simply move it here and there. So once the shape is selected, we have to just simply check the start point, and when we move, we have to check how much we moved it. And once we know the difference, we have to just simply add the difference to the starting point and all. That's the only thing we have to do, right? That's right. I think it can easily be implemented for any shape, for that sake. Selecting the point, I think yeah, I think it is easy. It's not easy, but it can be implemented easily. So ultimately, when we click pointer down, so at that time we got the start point, right? So at that time we already have the start point. Once we have the start point, that is it. Now then and even at that time we have the selected shape as well. So yeah, we have the selected shape. Once we have these two things, then what I'm actually gonna do, that as we move the mouse, if that is pen, then we are gonna be doing this, and yeah, if that is pen, then of course we are gonna do this. And apart from this particular thing, pen and selected shape can be together, right? So if I come back here, if I draw a shape, this is pen, this does not make any difference, right? So this is how it's gonna be going on. Coming back to this, if I draw a shape, if there is pen, that should be just simply doing this. But if there is select, and once the image is actually selected, so the image can only be selected when that is equivalent to select. So what I have to do, that if selected tool, that's triple equals to select, and we have selected shape, then we have to do something here. Again, the logic again repeating, it needs to be formatted, it needs to be well structured, but let's make everything work, and after that we'll structure it. So selected tool, select. What do we have to do here? Now what will happen, we will start moving the mouse, we will start moving the we will start moving the mouse, and as we are moving it, what we'll do, that we already have the start point, we are getting the end point. We actually need to have these values, so let me cut it from here. and probably once we have the start point and we have the end values, and once we have the end, so start minus end minus, that simply means we have what is this thing called, they are the relative points, right? So we do not have to worry about the relative points, rather probably somewhere here we have to say if, or we have to just simply paste it. So if selected tool is this, and that is right, and we have the selected shape, what we have to do right in that case, we have to make sure that we are storing this end point somewhere, right? So at the end of the day, end point ref, so right now we need to have the end point ref. So we have start point ref, we need to have end point ref as well. Why we need to have, I'll tell you the reason. So we need to have an end point ref, and in that case whenever we are just simply moving, so at that time end point ref dot current, that's gonna be equals to end point every time. So this way the value of the end point is gonna keep changing. Change the end point ref to calculate distance while moving the shape. Alrighty, this is it, that is why we are just simply using it here. And when the mouse up actually happens, not this much here, this much is not enough, we have to even move the image. Once when it comes to moving the image, so in that case just a minute, we have to change what? We have to just simply change the value of start. So end will become start, is that so? End will become start, right. If somehow I am able to make end as the starting point, then that is it, the job is done. So what if I say that start point ref is gonna be end point ref when we are actually moving it? Then is that what I want? Not really, that's gonna be problematic. Why? Because whenever I'm creating a shape, so start is always positive here in that particular shape, so it's not like start is negative. And when it comes to a point moving here and there, the point itself can be negative. Can the point be negative? Not really. The point starts actually from 0 0, so if I'm moving it from the left or right or anywhere, the end point cannot be 0. That simply means the point will always be plus. It can be either, yeah, that's right, it will always be plus. So if we are actually moving, so offset and all these things are gonna be added. So in that case we'll have to render it again, right? So the point, if the point becomes negative, that is also fine, because at the end of the day we have to render it again. And when it comes to rendering it again, so whenever I start rendering, it does not work that way. We only save the positive points. This can be problematic over here. So at the end of the day, what we'll have to do, if this gets problematic, ultimately if this doesn't work, this particular section, at that time we'll have to calculate the distance, but for now let's just simply check this thing out. What am I actually gonna do? Whenever the value of start point dot current, whenever the value of this changes, at that time I have to re-render. But this is where we are just simply changing the value of the start point, right? Okay, here we are. This is just the starting, this is not the end actually, so I should keep that particular thing in mind. We have the end point, right? So let's even get rid of this. If that is equals to that, in that case const id is gonna be equals to selected shape, right? So selected shape dot id. Once I have the id of the selected shape, after that I look for that particular shape. So const shape, what I'll do here, that set shapes, right? I'm gonna be getting all the previous shapes. Of course I'm gonna return an array, all I need to filter it. So once I got all the previous shapes, then previous shapes filter, and when it comes to filtering, so I'm gonna be getting a shape, and which shape I have to filter? If the shape that I have dot id, if that's triple, if that's not equal to the id that I have, then that needs to be filtered and that needs to be set here. But is this what I want? We don't need to filter, we need to map. What will I do by filtering? That's right, so we need to map. We don't have to remove that, right? We are not deleting here, we are just simply changing the value. So map, we are just simply gonna be getting a shape here. Once we get the shape, if shape dot id, that's triple equals to the id, in that case an object, so dot 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 the shape, we have to just simply destructure that, and triple dots are gonna be there. X is gonna be end point dot x, and y is gonna be end point. I am not sure whether this will work or not. If this doesn't work, then we'll get the distance of the start point and the distance between the start point and end point, and after that we'll see. But I think even this should work, because at the end we are just simply changing the coordinates, nothing else. So changing the coordinates should not be a problematic thing, but let's see. And otherwise we are just simply gonna return the shape. So this particular thing is done. So ultimately the state is going to be changing, and once the state changes, move the selected shape. Let's see. So we are actually able to move the shape, but the way it's getting done, that's insane. The good thing is that we are able to move the shape. What is the another thing? The another thing is that when mouse up happens, at that time no, only when there is mouse down. If that is select, if the selected shape is there, and is mouse, not middle mouse, is mouse down, so handle pointer move will be that only, not down, that. Is mouse down. So let's do one thing, const is mouse button clicked ref. use ref, by default that's gonna be false, and we'll have this ref over here. So ultimately whenever this down happens, at that time is mouse button click the ref dot current, that's gonna be true in that particular case. And once this is true, so whenever we just up happens, so pointer up, at that time is middle mouse panning ref, forget about that, is pointer down. Okay, we already have is pointer down, so that's enough. So we are making the pointer down false, so we don't even need to have that. If I already have is pointer down, so yeah, is pointer down ref, so I don't really need to have it, and I need to remove this as well. Coming back to this over here, the logic that I need to have, that is pointer move is pointer down ref dot current. If they are true, only in that case I have to move it, otherwise I don't have to move. Okay, got it. Now the problem is that if I click anywhere and move, the end becomes x, and that's problematic. That simply means we have to calculate what? We have to calculate the distance so that we can subtract. So we will have to calculate the distance. So const dx is gonna be end point dot x minus end point start point dot x const dy end point dot y minus start point dot y. As simple as that. Distance between start and end points. This is gonna be the distance, and once I got the distance, so I have to just simply add the distance. So dx is gonna be here, dy is gonna be here. So the distance that makes sense. That's it. What is happening here? End point dot x. So wherever I'm clicking, even earlier where I clicked, so start point, so whenever I clicked somewhere, at that time I got the start point, I just simply saved it. After that, as I started moving, so I got the start point from there. I started calculating the end point as I moved, and once I moved, I got the difference. I have to get the actually distance. This is not the distance actually, this is just the vector. That's gonna be constant distance, that's gonna be equals to math.hypot, and that's gonna be dx and dy. Once we have this, what is gonna be the value? Do we have to calculate this distance or this distance? This is gonna be the overall total distance, and this distance is gonna be as per the vector. So we have to get the vector's distance only. So probably this one is fine, but the thing is that it should be shape dot x plus dx, and it should be shape dot y plus dy. What the hell? It's too much. In that case, what am I missing? End point x, start point x. The distance That's somehow just being added. Yeah, that's just added there. That is the problematic thing. So in that case, what do I have to do? We have to get the overall distance. So in that case, what's better solution? Whew. This is not right. Why this is not right? Because as I keep adding the distance, it will keep increasing exponentially. That I don't want. So in that case, what we have to do here, that is instead of getting the shape from here, we can do one thing. Instead of just okay, instead of getting this shape from here, what I'm gonna do, because if we get the shape, what actually happens, that the real value of the shape changes, and every time we get the shape, we are just simply incrementing the value on the shape itself. So instead of doing that, I'm actually gonna get selected shape here, so that the value of the selected shape will always remain the same. As simple as that. And the value of the shape, if once I clicked, the shape got selected, then we'll have the same value, right? And then we can say selected shape dot, come on, yeah, selected shape dot ex and selected shape dot y. Now yeah, this is good. There are still a few things are missing, but once I drew that and I clicked anywhere, and when I'm moving it, I'm actually able to move it here and there. Now the only thing is that, how about this? Just a minute. Okay, we have to even fix this as well, so let's not worry about that. But ultimately this particular thing is done, and just a minute, give me a second. Alrighty, so let's keep going. And the another thing that I have to do, I have to redraw everything, right? So when it comes to redrawing it, so whenever the shape changes, so this redraw logic is actually dependent on the shape, render everything. This depends on the shape only. So if we are changing the shape, so that should be okay. Alright, but still the value of bounds is not getting changed, because the bounds are actually not being calculated. The bounds are only calculated when you click on the shape. Oh, that is right. In that case, what do we have to do? Pointer up, excuse this. The bounds that we calculated on pointer down, probably here. Yeah, while selecting, this is where we calculated the bounds. The same way we have to calculate the bounds again. So we got the selected shape, then when we pass the selected shape, at that time we got the bounds. That is what actually happened, and we have to get the bounds, and then we have to set the bounds. So the same thing needs to be done some way or the other here as well. So whenever we are moving, at that time we have to change the bounds as well. So select this blah blah blah. Somehow I have to implement this logic. but the thing is that the selected shape that this one has, its x and y coordinates, they need to change. And when it comes to this, so how about changing it inside it only, and new selected shape. Or we'll have to repeat this logic here as well. Yeah, either I repeat the logic here just like this, and now it will work. Yeah, as expected it is working, but there is the repetition of the logic. So in that case, once we have dx and dy, ultimately I'm gonna be getting new selected shape. New what should it, I'm not sure about the better name. Again, we'll take the help of AI to get the names better, format it better. That's not really a big problem, but it should be like new selected shape position, as simple as that, and that will have this particular logic. Makes sense? And apart from this particular thing, we'll just have this new selected shape position. So if that's equals to id, that simply means that's the new one. Otherwise that's gonna be something like this. And new selected shape position, or it could be selected shape with new position. Selected shape with new position. This is even better. Selected shape with new position. And that is it. So we can just simply move it here and there. That won't be problematic. And not only this, right now even this is the shape, this is the shape, we can just simply move any shape anywhere. So overall now we have to fix the logic of this line, but okay, we'll fix it. Same thing will happen with this as well. As for this, come on, okay, this we'll have to select it again, and we can just simply move it. Text should be fine as well, so we are able to move the text. Image should be fine as well, so we are able to move the image as well, so no need to worry about this. As for this line, set selected bounds, and when we are doing this, so this render shape is gonna be triggered when this gets triggered. So we'll check the bounds and selected shape. So selected shape is definitely gonna be there. Bounds are also gonna be there. Bounds that's calculated, that is for sure. We are even adding the bounds, setting the bounds. Once we are doing that, then we'll check the type. If the type is this, we are doing this. So why is this not moving? Because it does not have to do anything with the bounds, right? So it has to do with the points. It has to, in that case, if the line is moving, this should also move. The only thing is that ignoring everything else here, this is it. If I'm moving this, why does the line stay there only? Because as I'm moving this, the coordinates of the line changing, they are changing. That is why this is moving. So aren't the coordinates of that changing as well? Draw selection line. how we drew that. Yeah, that's the problem. Matic thing. The thing is that we are still sending the old selected shape while drawing, and that gets problematic, so we have to fix it. The problem is simple, that gaya kahan hai bhai, use drawing. So whenever over here, when we are moving the mouse, okay, we are calculating, we are getting the new position of the selected shape, that is fine. And when all these things are done, at that time we are not doing what? We are not changing the value of main selected shape. The value of the main selected shape remains the same, and we need that to be the same. So in that case, what could be the better way? First of all, if we want our line, so selected line to move as expected, then we'll have to move it somehow, or we can specifically render the shape over here. Rendering shape will repeat the logic, and so what can be better way? The only thing is that, or the only problem that we are facing over here, that is when I'm sending this, I'm calling this render shape over here, I'm passing selected shape, I'm passing the old value, and when I'm passing the old value, I'm getting the old result. As simple as that. So if I want to get the result as expected, in that case, setting the shapes, that's fine. Let's do one thing. Let's get the initial shape position, so that we don't have to worry about the initial value. Then we'll, yeah, that's kind of gonna be a better way. So what am I actually gonna do? That I have a ref that's gonna be const initial shape position. It will just simply give me initial shape position. That can be anything, right? So I have use a ref, so that can be actually null as well, or that can be point or null, just like this. Pretty simple. So the benefit of having this is that initial selected shape position, even to be precise, this is gonna be the initial selected shape position. And whenever I start moving this, whenever we are moving the selected shape, even later in future we'll have to create proper functions for these things, so that the logic is not here, and it's better looking and all, good looking and all. So we'll work on that. But the benefit of doing that is that now, instead of doing this, what I'll do, initial selected shape position dot current, and the value is gonna be the same, initial dot current and over here x is gonna be, just a minute, selected shape position, that's gonna be initial selected shape position dot current, not this callback. We have to make it better here, so we don't even need to do it here. Rather, as soon as I click, where I click here. So as soon as I clicked and pointer down actually happened. At that time, if tools with points are not this is not even needed. If that is select, so get shape at position this, we got the selected shape, we got set selected shape and initial selected shape position, that's gonna be equals to x selected shape dot x and y selected shape dot y. Pretty simple, no problem as such. It should be actually got current. So we just we just got the current starting position. This is really important later on. Going ahead, what we are doing, we are simply saying that whenever we are moving the mouse, at that time we can now get rid of this. Rather, if that is equivalent to that, then dot 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 shape, or x is gonna be initial selected shape position dot current dot x. That's gonna be too much. So in that case, let's have it here. Yeah, that's gonna be better. Initial position, that's gonna be initial selected shape position dot current dot current. Once I have the initial position, of course, of the selected shape, in that case x is gonna be what? Initial position, whatever the initial position was, dot x plus dx. Y is gonna be initial position xy, x plus dx, and this is gonna be y plus dy. As simple as that. Once we have it here, so get bounding box. So come on, initial point, or let me do one thing. Enough is enough. I'm gonna have x and y like this only. It will not be null. Rather, x might be 0, y might be 0 by default. Later I'm gonna change this, and once this is actually changed, this automatically gonna be set. And once this is actually set, I'm gonna have it here. Once I have it here, I'm just simply gonna be calculating like this. Once calculating like this, get bounding box. Do we need to do it now? Now the question is, do we need to get the bounding box here? And the answer is no. So this is fine that I am doing this here, but still one question remains. If I do not set the bounding box here, I have to set it there, and if I am setting it there, in that case we have to, whenever we are sending the, yeah, that's fine or not? This and this is definitely gonna work, but for what? For the shapes, set shapes. We are just simply setting the value of the shapes here, and this is fine. As for this bounding box, we have to send current selected shape, new selected shape. Okay, this is insane. When we are sending the selected shape over here, what is actually being sent here? The initial value. As the initial value is getting sent, you will get the same result, as simple as that. Selected shape bounds. What are the bounds? The initial bounds, you will get the same result. So there is only one way, and that way is pretty simple. Just call it there, as simple as that. Or just get it triggered. So somehow you have to get the value of new selected shape here. Selected shape, is this even changing here? So it turns out it is not really changing here. So as we are doing this, we are getting x and y from where? We are getting x and y from the initial points. That's the benefit of having this. Now what can I actually do here? I can actually set the value of what? I can actually set the value of const or what? Selected shape. Is that yeah, we can set the selected shape. Set selected shape, and what can I actually do? That the current value of the selected shape, comma what? X is gonna be equals to, the same thing is gonna be repeated here. X is gonna be equals to x plus dx, and y is gonna be equals to y plus dy. So what will happen? The position of the selected shape is changing. We are even setting it. It will trigger what? It will trigger this particular use effect. And when this use effect gets triggered, we are rendering the shape. Before even rendering the shape, what we are doing? We are getting the bounds. So selected shape bounds. Selected shape bounds, it needs to be calculated, and we are not calculating here. We need to calculate it here instead of calculating it somewhere else. So just a minute, we are calculating it whenever the point down happens. So we are calculating it here. So instead of calculating it actually here, what we'll do, that whenever we are rendering it, at the same time we'll calculate the selected shape